evening, and welcome back to another episode of the Fight Guys podcast. It's been a while, man. I definitely missed like 1 or 2 episodes, huh? Like, what's going on? What's going on with the kid, man? Slacking off?
I think you missed last week.
You getting ready to replace me?
Oh, hey, but Alpha, man, he's on a different time zone, so it's kind of hard.
I love it, man. Shouts out to everybody tuning in tonight. We're here with episode number fucking what, Will?
Episode 94.
Episode 94, bro. Knocking right on the cusp of that episode 100. And it's your boy, Nick Diddy, here with my cousin, Willie G, and the one and only Stash himself, Mr. Ben Doucette. Missing my cousin BC tonight. Who knows what that fucking guy is doing? It don't matter to y'all anyway, because every time he's in here, the audio shit. So we're going to dive right into bang, 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 bang. I'm letting them loose.
Firing live rounds already.
Not early.
We got the Royal Rumble to dive into. We got Eagle FC to dive into today. We got Bellator 270 what? Who gives a shit? Bellator
73, I think.
273. And some bare knuckle to get into as well. So Will, take it away, brother.
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry, audio, but yeah. Definitely, man. Let's start with what do I have set up first? Let's start with BKFC. that was Friday. That and Bellator, that and Eagle FC were both Friday. It was a fun card. I mean, it kind of lacked a little bit in name value. It had like 2 pretty big names on it. As Ben pointed out, and it ended up happening. Melvin Gillard should not have been on the card. Was he supposed to be on this card, or was he supposed to be on? Okay.
He was supposed to be on Knucklemania, but Florida pulled his his
looking like a Golden Lord. my guy. Yo, come on, man. Him and Derek Brunson right now, they need to start up New Age Golden Lords, find their meteor, man, take over. Let's go.
Nico, I'm going to tell you something funny, man. That dude, like when he talks, kind of the way he looks, he's always reminded me of your cousin Tony, man.
Oh,
Tony White.
Come on, man. I can see it without him talking. 100%.
He has always reminded me of Tony White, bro. But yeah, so the event was decent. It was a fun event. I'll tell you guys this. There was a prelim fight. This girl from Poland, I believe, Martina Kroll, versus Jocelyn Jones Liebarger from who used to be in the UFC. This girl, Martina, came out there and literally had the best jab I've seen in BKFC so far. All she did was jab all night, just keeping Jocelyn at bay. This girl was unknown. Jocelyn's a kind of known person in MMA, and she took an ass whooping. Ended up being a doctor stoppage because this girl just kept jabbing her in the eye. TKO for doctor stoppage for the cut after the 3rd round. And that girl Martina, in her broken English at the end, looks into the camera, like, "You know my name now," but you could barely understand what she said. But I thought it was pretty fucking awesome. I liked her a lot. She definitely showed some promise. Had pretty good defense too. She shut Jocelyn down. Did you end up seeing that fight, Ben, from the prelims, or did you just watch the main card?
I just saw the highlights.
Okay. Yeah, I thought she was pretty good, man. God, they need to keep people like her away from Paige Van Zandt because it would be like another pretty much no-name fighter beating Paige. Because like I said, I mean, her jab was just I don't think anybody would mess with it right now. But another highlight of the card for me was this girl, Crystal Pittman. She made her debut. Her name is like the Rugged Beauty or something like this. She beat Audra Cummings, knocked her down a few times. It ended up being 50-43, 50-43, 49-44. And bro, she was really good too, man. She was aggressive. She kind of reminded me of the Misfit. She just went out there and she was on another level. Very, very aggressive. So those 2 women both making their debut were pretty fucking good. But as far as the main card goes, important things that happened, man. Jared Warren beat Scott O'Shaughnessy's ass Ended up winning by knockout at the end of the first round. Scott just didn't get back up. That was a pretty one-sided ass whipping for one straight round. Ben, did you saw that fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. That dude, like, I think Scott's big win before this was he had beaten Melvin Gillard, who, like you said, has lost 17 in a row or something. So it really wasn't that big of a deal.
He's had one win in his last 16 fights across MMA, boxing, and bare knuckle fighting. So
this is Melvin that y'all talking about.
What's that?
This is Melvin that y'all talking about.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even know he still fought.
Oh yeah.
They've been keeping him off major cards because he can't, the last time he fought, they were in I want to say Mississippi, and they don't require athletic license. Like Florida State Athletic Commission threw shade at the state. They were like, the only reason why he fought here is because you guys don't have any sort of regulations. Like they literally said that it was fighter recycling like they do in pro boxing. Like they put a guy in there that's 0-13 and fucking 2 against a killer. And that was, kind of what was going to happen to Gillard here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nico, you remember just in October, I even played it on the show. Joe Riggs knocked him out with one punch in 1 minute into the first round. That was in Montana.
Oh, Joe Riggs, facts.
Yeah. Yep. But all the other fights.
Friday night too.
What's that?
Jeremiah Riggs there.
Oh yeah. Hey Ben, but besides that, buddy. All of Melvin Gillard's fights in BK and bare knuckle have been in Mississippi or in England.
Told
you. And Montana. I think Montana must be lax too.
They don't require a commission. It's wild, man.
Yep. So yeah, he's man, that dude. He's damaged goods. I don't know why they keep letting him fight. It's not like he's even that big of a name, but
not anymore. I mean,
right. It's kind of sad. The co-main event. Oh no, actually not the co-main event. The feature fight of the night was Quentin Henry versus Chris Sorrow, and Quentin won TKO doctor stoppage after round 2. Ben, what'd you think of this fight?
Man, Quentin Henry is an absolute machine monster. I don't know what you call that guy, but he also seems to be one of the nicest guys that fucking ever walked around. Absolutely. It's like we talked about, man. He was in a group chat, or not a group chat, but a Facebook post with a bunch of people not making fun of him, but making Chuck Norris jokes to him, and he was right involved with it all. He seems like a cool dude. And Chris Sorrow is from my home state. He's literally 45 minutes away from me. He's a tough dude, but I feel like they kind of did him dirty here. He had one big knockout in his debut, and then he's had 2 really tough fights back to back since then. I don't know if it's that there's not a lot of depth in the division, or if they really, wanted to push him. But man, in I think it's his 3rd BKFC fight, he's fucking fighting Quentin Henry.
Right.
It's crazy. Quentin Henry is kind of like the face of the whole division. I mean, of the whole company. I mean, when I think of that company, I think of him in his American flag trunks and his haircut and his beard, and I think of Quentin Henry.
Facts.
Yep. Hey, Nico.
Yes, sir.
You know what I realized the other night when they introduced him. Number one, you could never have hair like that, Nico. You could never have nice hair like that, bro. That mullet is fucking strong. But also, he's got that beard.
He looks like
what he looks like if Kenny Powers
was trying to look like.
He looks like Kenny Powers. And what'd you say, Nico?
He looked like what Jonah Hill is trying to look like.
For real. So the other thing that I realized when they introduced him is that he's from West Monroe, Louisiana. You guys know who else is from there?
Who?
The whole Duck Dynasty clan. That's his
whole Duck Dynasty clan.
For real, bro. That's my word, bro. And he looks like he could be related to them, man.
100%.
Nico, I should apologize for white people everywhere for Duck Dynasty, by the way.
Yo, honestly, one of my favorite television shows all time, no bullshit, Swamp People.
Oh, yeah.
Troy
That's all right. That's all right.
Henry. Come on, man. Little bit. That's my favorite shit.
I've never even watched it, bro.
Wait.
Swamp People's not a bad show, actually.
Yo, I'm confiscating your white card.
You can have it, bro.
What the fuck are you doing?
You know, I don't know. I've honestly, I've never even seen it on TV before. Like, I don't even know, man. Seriously,
Nah,
I know what it is, but
it just shows you how badass people from the swamp are. Like fucking with giant gators and crocs, whichever one's down in like the Louisiana area. But like, shit, man. But yeah, Quentin Henry is an absolute monster, dude. I don't know.
Nico, I put the joke on there on the page the other day. I said that when Quentin Henry was 10, he made 21-year-old Quentin Jackson change his name, change the spelling of his name because there could be only one. And he thought that was pretty funny, man. Right. And made him start going by a nickname. Yeah, he like put like the laughing emoji, but like he was doing that pretty much for most of them. I'm sure
my favorite one was somebody was like, when Quentin Henry went to his first day of kindergarten, he looked at his dad and said, "You're the man of the house now," and went to school. Like, yeah, like even Quentin Henry's mom got in on that, like laughing at that. Like, he's a cool dude. He seems, you know what I mean? Not a lot of people would take the time to get involved with their fans like that on some Facebook page. Yeah, and like I said, he's like the guy I think of when I think of BKFC. Like, I know Johnny Bedford's there, and I know that there's some really tough fighters there. But Quentin Henry's the guy. Like,
yeah, I think so too, man. Yeah, Nico, I made this joke. I made this shit up like on the spot, bro. I was just thinking of funny things to say, and I put that after 30 minutes after he was born and he finished potty training himself, he said his first words to the other babies in the nursery, which was, "You guys need to get your shit together." Thought that shit was fucking hilarious, bro. And I also put that he doesn't call the cops call him, and his mom liked that one. But anyway, the co-main event of BKFC was Alan Belcher versus Bobo O'Bannon, and Bobo was talking shit like on the sites. I don't know if you saw that, but he was like talking about how he was gonna, give Alan Belcher the business, but Alan Belcher went out there and whipped his ass. What were you gonna say, Ben? Go ahead.
Between his first BKFC fight, his pro boxing debut, and this fight, there's no fucking with Alan Belcher right now. Like, that guy is something else right now. Like, he looks like he ate the 185-pound Alan Belcher and like mutated into this guy.
For real, you're not even kidding, man.
And his stand-up looks so sharp. Yep. Like, that guy has obviously been training his hands and training them good. And they're trying to do something between him and what's his name, Frank Manchin. Is that his name?
I'm not sure.
Sure. Belcher already said that he really wants to fight for the belt next. Like, I don't know, man, but Belcher looks sharp as hell. And if he just keeps taking boxing fights between his BK fights, he's going to look great.
Did you guys see what just happened? BC came, he smiled, and then he left.
Yep.
Like a fucking weirdo. Ladies he takes home too. He came, he smiles, and then he leaves.
There he is.
What's up with you, man?
BC in the building. What's up, bro?
And now he's not gonna talk. All right, get this guy out of here.
There's that.
I was telling the people before he pulled up. This is the type of shit he's on. I stand by everything I fucking said. I stand by everything I said.
All right. So, but yeah, he's a fucking beast. Ben, I'm gonna be honest with you. As weak as the UFC heavyweight division is right now, I'm not saying he could win the title, but he could be like a top 5 guy if he went back to the UFC as a heavyweight right now, I think.
Well, he always did have pretty good ground game and jiu-jitsu and shit. So, like, he just stopped doing the MMA thing because of his eye. He had a bad eye. He had something similar to Bisping, where if he had kept fighting, like, his damage would have been done permanently. But, like, I've always kind of followed him across social media because I always liked Alan Belcher, and I just kind of, like, saw him do his own thing, and then he just started getting humongous, and then he mentioned his boxing, and I think it's just probably better money for the amount of damage you're going to take. You might as well box.
Oh, yeah, definitely. BC, what's up, bro? You talking now or what, man?
Yo, when I came in, the mics was bad low for some reason. I had to sign off and sign back on twice.
I think Nico had actually muted you there, man.
I don't have those controls, and we all know I don't. If I had those controls, we wouldn't be on a fucking episode.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. I couldn't hear y'all.
Oh, got you. So look, the main event of that one was for the welterweight title. It was Elvin Brito versus Caleb Harris, which was a rematch from I think 2 years ago that ended in a split decision with Brito winning. And guess what? He won a split decision again. So he's the welterweight champion with 2 split decision wins over Caleb Harris. I thought that was interesting that it was a split decision. I thought Brito won the fight. I didn't think it should have been a split decision, but other judges they see what they see, man. So I don't know. I thought it was a good fight. It was pretty exciting. What did you think of it, Ben?
Oh yeah, it was a good fight. It was. I think those two guys are obviously the best in the welterweight division. I think like the split decision obviously leaves the possibility for if Harris to win another fight, like he could, you could do something there.
Oh yeah.
Split decisions are always just a coin flip anyway, who that third judge is going to vote for. So,
yep. They're basically the Colby and Kamaru of the welterweights in BKFC.
It's funny you mentioned that because as I'm watching the fight and I see the result thing, I was like, man, they're hoping that this is a Davison Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno trilogy type deal right here. Like they're gonna try to book another fight right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, man. That's funny. But yeah, so it was a solid card. Like I said, I think they could have used a little bit bigger names.
They're saving it all for Knucklemania.
Yeah, and like it's kind of messed up. I know that was a title fight, but with Alan Belcher having a bigger name than those guys and Quentin Henry having a bigger name than anybody on the card besides Alan Belcher, those guys should have been the co-main in the main event, but because it was a title.
That's what I thought too, actually.
Yeah, so I mean it's all good. They are doing that for Knucklemania though, because Julian Lane and Mike Perry both, neither of them are champions, but they're the main event over 2 title fights. So I guess they're getting a little bit smarter about it. But anyway, let's talk about the Eagle FC. Ben, you said you saw that?
I just saw the results and stuff.
Okay. Nico, you watched it?
I was watching the highlights. I watched the highlights of each fight. I was all Royal Rumble.
Okay. BC, did you see Eagle Rumble. FC?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. So, this Khabib's company.
Looking like it's all geared towards the Magomedovs of this world.
A little bit.
Stop it, or Anka lives.
But look, if you're a UFC from 10 years ago fan, this weekend you had a good weekend. Ray Borg beat Cody Gibson on that card. Let's see, Rashad Evans beat what's the dude's name?
Checo.
Yeah.
Chico.
Gabriel Checo, and then in the main event, man, I had the results up and I don't even know what I did with them. I can't even think of the dude's name. But anyway,
Harimitov beat Tyron Spong, beat his ass.
Exactly. It was basically just Spong landed that one kick to the body, and then all of a sudden the other dude decided to take him down both rounds and just play King Kong on his head. So, but Rashad Evans looked really good, Nico.
Rashad looked really damn good
for somebody who hasn't fought in so long.
He early on though with his hands though he didn't look too clean, and it's like Chael said, when a veteran takes some time off, he normally gets his footing in the grappling exchanges, and I think that's where Rashad really shined through.
Right. By the end of the fight, though, his hands looked good. I think it just took
for
some
sure.
confidence.
I mean, Will,
get that confidence.
After you lay that weight down on somebody for a few rounds and use their legs and their arms, it's kind of easier to get your shit off at that point in time. But I will tell him is get some meat in that diet, man. All them fruits and vegetables, man. Cut that shit out, man. Get some meat, get some protein in your diet. Pause. I already know where Brandon going.
He looks 185 at 205. It's weird. He's pretty small.
He weighed in at 202, and he's basically got Kofi Kingston's build now, and his hair. But he, like I said, Nico, I think it's that dude had, taken a beating for a few rounds, but also just getting your confidence back. I mean, he losing 7 in a row and then going out there and dominating for a round and a half, 2 rounds. You start to feel a little bit better. Like, hey, I can still do this, The only thing the dude did was I think he got Rashad in the leg lock twice. And I was like, oh God, don't get caught in this thing. But besides that, the guy didn't have anything for him, which was surprising, Ben. We had talked about him doing a lot of those grappling matches, and
Yeah, and he had finished everybody. Like he has a 100% finish rate. Like out of his 12 wins, he had 7 knockouts and 5 submissions, I believe. So it's not like he was in there with a world beater, but he wasn't in there with a scrub either. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was literally like the perfect test for a 43-year-old guy who last fought at 185, who hasn't fought in a few years. Like, it was perfect. It was, it was a really good test for him.
Yep. Nico, I do think you're right about the meat, though, because Rashad, as good as he looked and as quick as he looked, he did not look strong.
Nah.
That was the one thing about it. But hey, look, let's talk about the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble. Now, look, the reviews have been a mixed bag. It's just one of those things. Some people love the pay-per-view. Some people hated the pay-per-view. Before we go into results, Ben, thumbs up or thumbs down for the event?
I am a strong thumb in the middle because
you was popping that shit. Fuck the middle.
I feel like Seth and Roman was a great match. Brock and Bobby told a really good story, told the story that needed to be told. Doudrop and Becky was better than I thought it was going to be. But the 2 Royal Rumble matches just didn't do it for me. Like the 2 actual 30-person match, they just didn't nothing. The men's match, like half those guys wouldn't even be chasing the 24/7 title right now. Like, and I feel like you could have told, like Brock winning made sense, but you could have told the same story without it. Like, I don't know who you would have had win in his place, but he's Brock fucking Lesnar. Have him show up on SmackDown and say, I'm taking it, like he did tonight on Raw. Just show up and be like, this is what I'm doing.
And Brandon had alluded to that, that he thought that Brock didn't need to win the Royal Rumble to get a title match, before.
Yeah, he's 100% correct. He did it tonight on Raw. He came out and said, I'm in the Elimination Chamber match, and they put him in it. Yeah. Like, he could have come out and cut the same promo. Like, that's what people are pissed off about, right? Is that Brock didn't need to win to do the same exact thing that he's going to do.
Right. Nico, thumbs up, thumbs down for the event. Ben, we'll get thumbs up. We'll get into the whole event. BC,
thumbs up.
Did you watch the event?
Yeah, of course.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, bro.
For me, it's a thumbs down.
All right. I gave it a thumbs up, man. I really did like this event. And we'll get into it. We'll get into why. I will say this, Nico. Last week when you missed the show and me and Ben did it, I got all but one match correct. Every match on the card I predicted correct, including the Rumble winners. I only got one match wrong, but we'll get into that here in a minute. First match of the night, and I definitely think it was the match of the night, was Roman versus Seth. I thought that match was freaking incredible. I really did. Better than their matches back in the day, I think, personally. Nico, you want to talk about this match some?
I thought that they came out on fire. Seth Rollins is the fucking architect that he claims he is, coming out in the Shield. What's that?
I put up a picture, but it wasn't from this match. That one is though.
Coming out in the Shield attire, he just
through the crowd.
Yep, he set the tone, man. He did everything that he was supposed to do. The shitty part is the ending. Of course, you'd like to see somebody go over clean in a situation like this, but we had to deal with Roman applying the guillotine and holding on past 5, and then sounding like a fucking broken record lunatic, claiming that he made him do it. I could have dealt without that. But maybe they're just gearing up to continue the feud for a little bit, right?
Maybe for a little while. I don't see why not. I think I think they could go somewhere with it. BC, what'd you think of this match?
I thought it was a great match, probably the match of the night, like you said. Starting off with Seth coming out to the Shield entrance music and popping through the crowd, that alone was, to me, the moment of the night.
Mm-hmm.
It was bigger, definitely bigger than both of the main event matches.
All right, Ben, what'd you think of it, man?
So for me, this match told exactly the story that it needed to tell. Like I kind of mentioned before with Brock and Bobby, it told the story it needed to. For this is showing the cracks in Roman Reigns' armor, right? Like he's been untouchable since he started this reign. But Seth was able to get in his head. He was able to break him down. He was able to control the match. Roman couldn't beat him on his own, so he needed to cheat and find an easy way out. So there's still that built-in storyline that he can't beat Seth Rollins. And it just continued like later on in the night when Roman did what he did in the Brock match was because of like what happened in this match with Seth. It shows that he's vulnerable right now, and it's a part of Roman that hasn't been shown before. Right, and we're gonna paint him as like this chicken shit heel, and it's gonna be good. The build will be good.
Yeah, almost make him kind of like emotional, you know. Like,
yeah, which he hasn't been in this whole reign, right? He's been arrogant. He's been untouchable. He's been above it all. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's had the Usos and whatnot to help him, but that's what you do when you have a faction, right? You have the guys that your underlings fucking help you out. It's been that way since fucking forever.
Yep.
But like Roman's been untouchable during this whole reign, and now, you know, he's not anymore. So
it's crazy. And Ben will tell you this, Nico. I even said that Roman would get disqualified on purpose, but I thought it was going to be the Usos that ran out and helped him after they were banned from ringside, and that's how he would get disqualified. You remember I said that, Ben? I thought that was the way it would happen. But you know, they went this route. The Uso thing would have happened, you know, would have worked just as well. But
they weren't even at the show.
No, but leaving the guillotine on was kind of a cool touch. But yeah, definitely that match I thought was fantastic. The next match was the Women's Rumble. BC, I know you said you didn't really like it too much. You know, go ahead and elaborate, man.
I mean, as far as comparing the two Royal Rumbles, the Women's Royal Rumble is probably better than the Guys' Royal Rumble. Yeah. Specifically off of just, you kind of knew who was going to win, only on the fact that you had to already bank on the fact you thought that Ronda Rousey was going to return.
Right.
Outside of that, it was pretty much up in the air for anybody to win.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of wished I saw Bayley return.
When did she return? Tonight?
No, I said I kind of wish she did.
Oh yeah.
That would have been nice for that. Because my biggest thing with the entrance into the Rumbles. It wasn't special. Yeah, I even said in the group chat, like, yo, it'll probably be Shane McMahon for the men. Fucking Shane McMahon came out. Yeah. Why? That's and true. He goes out there and he starts
in the middle for the pop.
He comes out. He's the only one. That's why I said it, because his music alone is gonna make you pop.
Yeah.
For real.
Yep. But he just wasn't the one, man. He should have been maybe 15, 16. He would have got the same pop.
Yep.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Ben, you want to talk a little bit about this match?
It was definitely better than the men's, in my opinion. I think that a lot of the exchanges that they did were done right. They continued some feuds that needed to be continued. But I feel like they painted the same picture, or they told the same story in the end that they did in the men's. Like, Ronda Rousey didn't need to win the Royal Rumble to come in and call her shot. Like, she's Ronda Rousey. Like, she could have come in and done the whole, I have unfinished business with you with Becky Lynch, or you've never beaten me to Charlotte Flair. Like, you didn't need to have her come in and win the Rumble. It was people were talking about it for days before on the internet, so it's not like it was a total surprise that she was coming back.
I had no clue Ronda was coming back.
Like it just, I mean, you
I
have.
was a betting man. I was leaning towards Bailey.
See, I was wondering if she's healed yet, because didn't she like hurt her knee and was I don't know when she got hurt, but they said 9 months, so I didn't know if she was healthy.
I don't know.
Like you're doing all these vignettes and you're doing all this stuff to retell Alexa Bliss's story and rebuild her character, and you don't even put her in the Rumble. Like, I don't know. The match was better than the men's for me, but it didn't. I don't know. The winning, like, yeah, that was great. I told you, I popped huge for Ivory, even if she just came in and got thrown right out. I popped huge for that.
I loved it. Yeah, that was a great part, man.
She deserved that little shine, you know what I mean? And
yep.
I don't know, like you could have had many different people win other than Ronda, and Ronda still could have done the exact same thing. She could have come in, I'm the bad bitch, like, you know, you owe me one, Becky, or you haven't beaten me yet, Charlotte, and just gone from there. But like, you know,
Ivy made the Rumble before Shanky did.
Yeah, for real.
Before Beer did too.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, you're right about that. But yeah, I see what you're saying, Ben. Nico, what about you, man?
For the males,
no, the women's Rumble.
The women's Rumble, I think, was it was definitely better than the men's Rumble. There's no question about that. Definitely too many points of just too many women in the ring at once, and just like that one chick laying over the side, even though she's not going to be eliminated with like 6 girls on her, even though she's like 110 pounds. I hate fucking moments like that. It drives me absolutely insane. But all in all, I think the chicks did a damn good job. The Naomi and what's her name, Sonya Deville story playing out the way that it did, I think is good.
Yeah.
I thought it was good all in all.
You think that spot was worse than Shane botching the Brock Lesnar elimination?
Yo, that was awful, bro. That was awful. He couldn't get over the
like
rope,
he was 105.
I thought Brock was gonna murder him with that second clothesline. Like the way he cocked back to throw that second clothesline to actually eliminate Shane. I thought he was gonna mutilate him.
It was definitely stiff. It was definitely stiff. But the one thing I'll say about the Rumble is that I didn't, and I put that in the group chat too, I didn't realize how over Aaliyah is. I don't know why, but she got a hell of a pop. People were popping for her. Like, I mean, she's decent. You know, she's good looking. She can get down in the ring. I think she's gonna get a good push, man. After that, I could tell that I think they have some pretty good stuff planned for her. I wouldn't be shocked if she takes a spot in the Elimination Chamber too, Ben. If they what's that?
One person that I noticed like sitting out, like Liv Morgan still is getting hot pops too. Like when she came out, they blew up pretty hard for her too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They love Bianca, man.
Oh yeah.
I think
you not
wanted that, man. And honestly, that would have been a really good fucking way to go.
Nico, that's who I picked, bro.
Final 2, Ronda and Bianca gets the elimination on her. That would have been fucking crazy.
That's who I picked, bro, was Bianca. I thought they'd go with the 2-peat, you know what I mean? Back to back.
Yeah, man. That would have been fire. That would have been
Austin.
And everybody would have been guaranteed Ronda would have won at that point in time. She got a good pop coming back. They would have all been deflated upon understanding that she was going to win. And then to have Bianca go over, the pop would have been absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In reality, though, Sailor Moon would have slayed all of them.
Cut it out, man. Sasha wasn't going over that night, but she did look good in that Sailor Moon outfit. That's for damn.
I thought you were talking about actual Sailor Moon, and I was like, yeah, she probably would win the Royal Rumble.
She would dust them off.
You know, I know it'll never happen, but I'd love to see a Ronda and Shayna Baszler match. I think it would be stiff and fucking stretching, and I think it would be a decent match.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't be shocked if they go with that before she leaves again.
I mean, I've never been a Ronda fan, but I think that match would be really good.
Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see
it. It'd be easy to build. All Shayna would have to do was just pop in the ring while she's in there and be like, I always wanted to fight with you. Boom, it's done already.
Right, like you're only who you are because I was a training partner. Like she was one of the 4 horsewomen, right, Shayna? So
you've been ducking me since you got here. Then you left and came back. Yeah, easy.
right. That's somebody, that's somebody who deserved a better shot than she got, Shayna. She came off NXT so hot, and then they just shit the bed on her, and it sucks.
She's definitely been a main roster flop.
Well, dude, because she came in that women's elimination chamber, beat all 5 girls in the women's elimination chamber, and then jobbed out for the title right after that.
WWE just gonna put the title on a face, and by face I mean a pretty girl.
I was gonna say, yeah, she's not cute.
How many of those girls could realistically beat Nia? Let's be real.
How many of them could realistically beat her? Probably
Nia's fucking up a couple dudes on the roster.
Probably the only ones.
Right,
probably the only ones that would do well or beat her is Ronda and
Shayna
Baszler. That's about it. And they better go for that armbar.
Ronda up.
Nah, if Ronda will go for an armbar. Ronda will go for an armbar.
We'll get her. Nia's fucking Ronda up.
What fighting training does Nia Jax have?
It doesn't matter. That bitch from the streets. You see what she did to Becky Lynch nose?
The bloodline, bro.
Get out of here, man.
Yo, exactly. You know the family she come from. That bitch, she got it. She got the juice.
She's gonna get her arm broke, man.
Yo, just because people don't train don't mean they can't rock. And we already know Ronda don't got hands like that.
Are you gonna tell me next?
And she got to take her down. She's gonna struggle to get her to the ground. And Nia is gonna put her in the headlock or grab that hair and get a couple of them ghetto ass uppercuts off. This is the street now. This is the street now, Will.
Are you gonna tell me now next that Doudrop could beat her too?
No form.
Are you gonna tell me Doudrop could beat up Ronda too next?
No, hell no. I don't get that vibe from Doudrop.
I don't know, Will. Are you gonna tell us that Doudrop?
I'm intimidated. Like if Nia told me shut the fuck up, I'd probably shut the fuck up. I get that vibe from her. I get the like she cooks chicken bare hand vibe from her. You feel me? It's just different.
Whole chickens
going on here. 100%.
All right, Nico. Since we're talking about your girlfriend, let's go ahead and talk about this match. Go ahead, man.
Pointless match. A 10-minute match ended with a manhandle slam off the second rope. It did absolutely nothing for Doudrop in the process. Not a fan of the match.
I thought it helped her out a little bit. I mean, I thought that they gave her a lot of the match. Really, I mean, they gave her a lot.
What are you laughing at, Brandon?
This guy,
Will, right?
Nah, both of them.
Me?
Both of us?
Both of them. I was laughing at Ben and Will.
Oh, you're laughing at Ben and Will.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, what did Ben do? Ben, you talking trash?
Am I the only person? We all on the same screen. How y'all ain't see Ben?
I was looking.
You dropped my jaw, Nico. How are you doing our girl like that, man? I thought that match was perfect. I thought that it still kept her strong. She looked like a monster, dude. She squashed Becky around. Every time she landed something, it was heavy, and Becky looked hurt from it. And the fact that she needed to get her on the second rope to hit her with that move to finish, I think even with that, it kept Doudrop as the.
It's a clean win.
Yeah, it's a clean win, but it kept Doudrop strong, man. Becky needed to pull out a move that she needs.
Feel like that makes her look strong if Becky goes over clean on her after.
I think that the way it went, like she had to get her on the second rope, she had to hit a more high impact version of her finisher. I thought that it's still Doudrop looked good. That match, I really liked it a lot. I thought it was really a really well done match.
You see Brock getting the 15 count on Lashley and then losing. He looks strong. With the interference as well, he looked strong in that loss. I don't get the same vibe from Doudrop.
I like that match a lot.
We got to make her look strong here. I got the Becky Lynch is invincible vibe. She got squashed around, then she put the bitch on the second rope, hit her manhandle slam, and walked away victorious. No need for any cherries on top or nothing like that. It just makes Becky look strong as fuck to me. It doesn't make Doudrop look strong.
I personally thought it made her look strong. I mean, I think it's the best match.
110 pounds.
Look, I think it's the best match that she's had on the main roster.
I agree.
She had this better.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Over. She should have went over. That's all I'm saying. She should have went over.
I mean, she's on her way out anyway, so it doesn't
What-
really matter.
Well, you've been saying that for months. You're wrong
No,
about
for about 1 month.
fucking
I started that rumor in January.
She's a
Around the
great worker. I don't know what you don't see. Homegirl took the bump into the staircase, hit a whole front tuck, and landed on her biscuit. She's a good fucking worker for a big girl.
Well, plus that manhandle slam was still pretty snug in the corner. That probably wasn't a very fun bump to take either. But the only thing I would have done differently in this match is I would have given Dewdrop a spot where I don't know if the ref is bumped or something, but like, you know, she did deserve a spot to at least like get a better than a 2 count, like, you know, one of those really close ones, like really close. She almost won it, but like, you know, I thought that it was still a pretty good match. It was better than I thought it was going to be for sure.
In my mind, I don't think she really went over. I just think that the way it ended, they left no reason for there to be a rematch. Therefore, killing her push, in my opinion.
I mean, I think they just moved Becky on to the next feud, but
she's the female Otis, and not just because she's fat. Fan favorite.
Fan favorite?
Yeah.
She's not a fan favorite, man.
That's the only reason they're pushing her, bro.
You think she's a fan favorite?
Yes.
Who's this? That's a fan favorite.
Dewdrop?
Yes.
I mean, I don't see that. I mean,
you're a hater.
Listen, no. The problem is, number one is her name, and number two, they basically turned her into the Big Show, where every other week she's a heel or a face.
I agree, but how long was the Big Show around?
Suck.
How long was the Big Show around?
That's the Big Show, though. That she's not the Big Show.
She's gonna be a victim of the fact that she's gonna be whoever she's feuding with. She's gonna be the opposite of that. Like she's one of those people that's gonna constantly walk that tweener line. Like, I mean,
when that shit doesn't work,
she's the big fat.
What are you talking? It worked for like fucking 40 years for Ric Flair. He was a tweener his entire career.
This is fact.
It depended on who he worked, and I'm not comparing Dewdrop to Ric Flair, but I mean being a tweener works for people if you do it right, and you just have to be booked right to go along with it. You know, like Dewdrop's next feud can't be with Alexa Bliss, and she can't lose it because it won't matter. Like it needs to be a feud that she can win her next one.
I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I don't like the back and forth, flip-flopping it, and the fact that her name is Dewdrop is a horrible, horrible idea.
Well, you upset that was supposed to be your name when you started, Will? You were supposed to be Dewdrop when you started, weren't you?
I was supposed to be, and they fucking stole it. What'd you say, BC?
I mean, that is up there. It's as bad as Shorty G.
It is as bad as Shorty G or Lord Tensai. Lord Tensa, whatever.
Dude, how did he like?
But he was going pushed out of Japan, though.
Yeah, I know. What'd you say, what'd you say, Ben?
Like they pushed him for like 2 or 3 weeks. He beat a couple of good people, and then just nothing. Oof.
Bro, he beat CM Punk at Greensboro Coliseum when I went. It was him and John Laurinaitis versus CM Punk, and John Laurinaitis didn't really get in the ring, but Tensei like beat the crap out of Punk the whole time and pinned him. But yeah, it was like a 3-week push, like you said. Anyway, another really good match.
Very good match.
Brock Lesnar.
Very good match.
Why does Brock's beard look fake?
That is 1,000% fake.
No, both of them are. It's an animation of them. I think it's actually from the new video game.
Let me just start by saying I hated those white pants on I hated the white pants on Bobby.
He borrowed them from Shawn Michaels.
That shit looks so weird.
Nico, you sound surprised that he said that. What's up, man?
Nah, I was saying that was a fake Bobby Lashley was absolutely crazy to me. That animation was dope as fuck. If that's
that's what I was thinking.
It's from their new video game, 2022.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Look at that.
Great graphics.
Yeah.
As for the white pants, I have this theory where when people come out in all white, that they're gonna do great that night.
I mean, I could see it.
The only one I can agree with that on is probably Seth Rollins when he fought Triple H.
Charlotte.
And
Charlotte.
Michaels versus Undertaker.
It didn't go over last night with Charlotte, but she still wound up making that final 2, coming out in that all white robe and get up.
Yeah. Yep. BC, you want to say anything about this match?
We're not gonna sit here and act like Charlotte Flair ain't built like a Cornish hen.
We also established that she probably still got that snapper though.
We didn't establish this. Don't.
No, we did. We did. I feel like you may have said it first on this show. Actually,
maybe.
I'm almost positive. We were talking about how she looked like Skeletor. You were like, she probably got a snapper though.
Definitely
I
looks
wasn't
like
even
Skeletor.
using the word snapper until you.
It's a headline.
Will's not a fan of this topic right now.
No, I mean, you know,
it was a great match, Will. It was a great match. Two very big dudes doing very high impact moves. Suplex City off rip. They were throwing each other on each other's heads. Fucking great match all in all. I think Brock looked like a fucking animal.
Can we talk about Brock's nose for a second? Doesn't it look like staph infection on his nose?
Yeah. Or
it really
like
does.
A fucking mole or something.
Yeah, but a mole wouldn't pop up that quick, man. I think he had staph on his nose that night.
For those pants, how can you get over that?
Yeah, I mean,
they
were something. They were definitely something.
Did he have that shit on his nose like when he came to the ring, or did it happen like it?
No, he had it the whole match.
I was gonna say maybe they're a couple big dudes throwing some big ass strikes. Maybe they were working something out and he took a stiff strike or something.
Maybe.
I find it hard to believe that they'd let him work with staph infection. That could have infected fucking every single person he came in contact with.
He probably was like, no, I cut myself shaving. I'm good.
But
that's why Heyman turned on him.
Yeah, maybe.
He's like, motherfucker.
Roman's over the COVID and this ain't got staph infection.
I sat next to you in the locker room, you son of a bitch.
One time, probably 10 years ago, let's see, Williams. Yeah, no, maybe 8 years ago. My son was 3 or 4, and I'm shaving, and I'm coming down this way right here, shaving, and he comes to. Oh, actually, I was coming down this side. He comes to the bathroom. He's like, "Dad," and I went like that and cut my whole bottom of my nose, man. I went right across with the razor. That was fucked up, man. I had both sides. It was all fucked up. But yeah, I just thought of that when we were talking about Brock and his nose fucked up and everything.
Should do some side research one day and figure out what happened to all of the Paul Heyman guys. Where are they at now?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about what? You're talking about just the Paul Heyman guys from modern WWE, or are you talking about the Dangerous Alliance or what?
I mean, the guys from way back then are probably out of wrestling, obviously.
Right. I know you said what happened to him. So you're just talking about
where are they
modern.
Yeah. All the Paul Heyman guys.
Yeah. I mean, there really haven't been that many, have there? I mean, you got
Cesaro.
Who?
Cesaro,
Punk.
27. There's been 27 quote unquote Paul Heyman guys.
27.
That includes WCW.
Number 27 is Curtis Axel.
Oh god.
There's guys that were Paul Heyman guys that we don't remember. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I know we could
technically
for 10.
Technically, they grouped. They're called Team Lesnar. It was from Survivor Series 2003. So technically, A-Train, Matt Morgan, and Nathan Jones are all Paul Heyman guys too.
I mean, come on, man.
Boo Nathan Jones.
Hey, man, what culture is a fucking respected list ranking website? Okay, and yeah, Cesaro's number 25. Fuck this list. Cesaro's better than 25.
Definitely better than 25. And anyway, Ben, you want to talk about how this match ended, how they finished this thing up?
Right on. So there was a sick ref bump. I don't know if anybody else thought that or not, but when Lesnar threw Lashley into that referee, that was pretty stiff when he gave him that F5. But he smashed him with an F5, got a 15 count in the middle of the ring before Roman came in. And he spear him, hit him with a spear, and then beckoned Paul Heyman to give him the title. Heyman gave him the title. He smashed Brock with the title, and Bobby Lashley wins and is your new 2-time red title champion.
Got the red belt. Yep. All right. So the next match, which was a waste of time. This was a filler, and they didn't need a filler because the show was already 4 fucking hours. But instead, they decided to do this match right here with Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix.
Could have been done on Raw.
It could have been. I mean, it wasn't a horrible match. I mean, it had a couple of good spots in it, but it was just pointless to do on this
Beth
card.
Phoenix out there looking like Blanca.
I said she looked like Rufio from Hook, bro. Like, I don't know what she's doing.
Nico, did you see this match? What'd you think of it?
Which match is this, brother? The
mixed tag.
The mixed tag.
Not matching panties.
Bruh, I think shit, man. How do I want to do this? Personally, I think it was corny as fuck. Like, I think that it was a very corny match, but I understand the human side of things and seeing significant others work with one another like that, and that's all good. From a technical standpoint, I thought that the Miz looked strong as fuck, and I was very impressed with Maurice when she came off the ropes and hit the Hurricane Rana. I was very taken back. I was caught by surprise when she did that, and Miz kicking out of everything that he kicked out of. I thought they were just going to squash him, man. And it was getting so late at this point in time as well. I think that we were all calling for a squash match in favor of Edge.
Yeah.
It wound up playing out much longer than I had expected it to.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you on that. Anything else you want to say about?
Do you think this kills the feud finally, though? Do you think there's a need to carry it on to WrestleMania?
I don't think there's a need, no. But you know, I just think that they're trying to really build Edge back up as strong. You know, he beat Seth Rollins in the feud before this. Now he's beat Edge and beat Miz in this feud. I don't know. I just think they're just trying to build him back up for one more good run after WrestleMania as champ. Not at WrestleMania, but maybe in the spring or summer. But yeah, anybody else want to say anything about this amazing non-match of the night? I didn't think so. All right. So what's up? Whoa. What happened? BC, what'd you say?
It was a trash match. I don't really have nothing to say about it. But since we were talking about Edge, I kind of want to see Edge versus AJ Styles.
I would like that match. That'd be a good match.
I think it would be dope.
That'd be awesome.
And Nico, what were you saying?
I was just asking if Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura match got canceled or something. I remember getting up here and saying no title change except for Sami Zayn and Shinsuke, but then I don't remember that either.
They ended up postponing it to I think it's this week's SmackDown because they did that whole spot with Sami and Knoxville, so Knoxville had someone safe to work with or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That was what I was reading online. Was that like, you know, Sammy's one of the most trustworthy, like, safe guys in the ring to be with, blah 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 blah. So they had him do the spot with Knoxville, and they moved that title match to Friday. Or Friday. Is that when SmackDown is? Yeah.
Technically, I think he's great, Sammy. So I believe that.
Poor Sammy.
But yeah, I thought the men's rumble was okay. I understand why you guys didn't like it that much. There was definitely a lack of star power. I thought that was the biggest problem.
What do you mean? They had Bad Bunny.
They did have Bad Bunny, unfortunately.
Every time that motherfucker come out to do something, I'm always talking shit, and then he get in the ring, and I'm like,
He's not bad, honestly.
He looked good, but in no universe ever should Bad Bunny and Shane McMahon be in your Final Four. No universe ever. Not even in not even in 2K22 universe mode should Bad Bunny and Shane McMahon be in the Final Four of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Well, Shane McMahon came out late. That's what I mean.
Regardless, have him do his little spot. Have him do his spot where he eliminates Owens, and then have Owens jump back in the fucking ring, stunner him, and throw him out.
Shane McMahon is not a bad entry into the Royal Rumble. He was a bad entry into this Royal Rumble. He does deserve to be in the Final Four. He deserves to win a Royal Rumble, but he has to be there long enough to create a storyline first. That's all I got to say about that. If Vince gets to win a Royal Rumble, Shane gets to win a fucking Royal Rumble.
And Stephanie can come back and win a Women's Rumble.
Who?
Stephanie.
Last entry, though. Last entry.
Linda. Let Linda do it.
I will argue, though, that the Vince character is a way more integral part of WWE than the Shane character.
It is. Shane's
especially
more
for
like
that time period.
Hold on. You're right, but he owns the shit, and he was there from Jump Street. Shane has done things for this fucking company as the billionaire son that no billionaire son would ever fucking do. Ever.
Right.
He's gave us some of the greatest fucking moments of all time. Look, just King of the Ring versus Kurt Angle alone.
Yep.
Get that man one Royal Rumble victory. Give him one.
Yep.
I don't like argue that he should have won or could have won a Rumble. I just don't think this Shane McMahon should be a Final Four in the Royal Rumble.
He deserves to be Final Four, but only if, like Nico said, if he's in there long enough.
If he's back for long enough, I got you. Look, the most impressive thing Shane McMahon ever did was he actually had a good match with Test, because Test was horrible, and Shane actually made him look decent that one year.
Back. Test was all right.
Test was the fucking worst.
He is an ECW. No, he didn't win the title, did he?
Nah. Hey, look at that contact Sammy made and didn't kill Johnny Knoxville. Look at that, Nico. That's full-on contact on the jaw.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what that is? That's one hell of a kick, man. For real.
But
the reason, though, that, like I said, I think that it lacked star power, okay? And then all these dirt sheets are fucking morons. You saw how many people they were talking about were in town and this and that. I even said, I was like, The Undertaker's not going to be in the Royal Rumble, even though every one of them put that as like their headline. I said, yeah, he's in town. They already said Michelle McCool is going to be in the thing. He's just there with his wife. Why the fuck would The Undertaker come back now? Like, we've seen it, and he did not look good in the last couple times. He wasn't happy.
People are scared for him when he comes back at this point.
I literally thought he was going to die against Goldberg when Goldberg kind of dropped him.
Yeah, man. Shooting the match with AJ as a movie needs to be the only way we see Taker perform if he just needs to perform.
Yep, I agree. Hey, look, those two right there, it's the reason I picked this picture, had probably the most impressive parts of the Rumble, Austin Theory and AJ Styles, because, they were in there probably the longest, right? I'd say they were pretty much the workhorses.
Austin Theory was my pick.
Yep. BC, what'd you think of this part right here, man?
Keep it 100 with you. I literally missed that part.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Mania.
But they make Kofi do so many high risk things to try to maintain his mystique of how he survives getting knocked out of the ring so many times. He probably just missed it.
Yeah, he did.
The problem is that nobody would have known that he had missed it if they hadn't shown the fucking replay immediately after. Yeah. If they had just been like, oh, he saved it. People wouldn't have really known both of his feet hit the floor. And then they show the close-up replay immediately after, and they're like, oh, no, he's out. And that's when Kobe, lets go of the wall. Yep. You guys could have just gone on without it, and he could have figured it out.
Yeah, for real. Nico, what'd you think of that part?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I got lost real quick.
Oh, you're good, man. This part right here.
Oh my God.
Kofi Mania, baby.
Oh man, I felt so fucking bad, Will.
He was in there for 20 seconds.
Will, I felt so fucking bad, bro. Because it's a shoot at that point. The ref coming over and doing that shit, it's a shoot. They got to do it. And there was somebody in the crowd standing there pointing it out.
Yep.
His feet touch. Oh my God, you fucking douchebag, you.
Yep.
That was so shitty, man. But hey, these things happen. I'm sure it didn't really affect the outcome of the match. It may have taken away from. What do you think it took away from, honestly? Because he wasn't
You
gonna.
think they had some spots where him and Big E planned?
Yeah,
They might have, but here's the thing. That was late enough in the match that who knows, Ben? He could have been in the final four, and Shane wasn't even supposed to. You know what I mean? That could have pushed everybody up one.
very
I
true.
mean, so that's what I was just thinking about. But Jesus, yeah, they had that referee, and you saw the referee. He wasn't sure what to do, but you know he had that earpiece in.
Bro.
And he was like, no, you're out. You're out.
We
It
gotta
took him-
call him out. They definitely
Yeah.
gave him the gotta call him out.
So, but yeah, this part I thought was great. I know people were complaining about it online, but him coming in and giving Riddle the business, I thought was fucking phenomenal. I mean,
Because you're an old man.
yeah, bro, he's got the old man punches. They look good though, man. Who else?
No.
Yes, they do. They look,
Yeah.
Look, if you're going to throw hands in a boxing fashion, because most wrestlers do not, they throw those crazy overhands. If you're going to throw them in a boxing fashion, this is the way you want to look. You do not want to look like Ronda Rousey.
Nope. Two guys who had the best boxing punches ever, in my opinion, are Shane and Johnny B. Bad. Those are the two best that I could think of. Didn't he do the punches on Otis too, though?
No, Dusty Rhodes as well.
Dusty had pretty good punches.
No, Will. Definitely best jabs in the game.
Oh, yeah. He had the jabs, and then he would follow up with an elbow.
Roll into the elbow, 100%. But when he got on that, and Road Dogg as well, when he took it from Dusty and he started doing it, Road Dogg had some good stiff jabs going as well.
Yeah, my favorite strike, though, probably in all of wrestling, was Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Like his open hand, like slap, man. That always looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I just mean from a strict, like just jab standpoint, just a jab.
My strikes were garbage, dude. I threw forearms because I could not throw a worked punch to save my life. I connected too hard every time.
I throw a great work punch.
Oh no, I'm good. It was not good.
Throw great work punches. You should learn how to box. You should just go box.
Yeah.
You should go do mitts. You should go spar. You learn how to pull your punches so well from sparring and just controlling that tempo. You just learn how to pull so fucking good.
Ben, you want to know?
I never wanted to potato somebody, you know what I mean? So I was just like, I'll throw forearms instead.
You know how I learned to pull my punches? Open up the door and just have this part of it in front of you, and you just throw punches. And after you bust your knuckle a few times, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm hitting too hard." And then when you stop busting your knuckle, you know that you're hitting the right amount. You know what I mean? That was like our trainer told us to do it, and I thought that was pretty good.
He just busts out.
I don't know, man. That's how he gives it up, man.
Yeah, he's like Hustle Man. He comes through the window and then he just dips, man. So let me ask you this before I show you what mine was. What was your favorite part of the men's rumble, Ben? I know you didn't really like the match that much, but what was your favorite part of it?
I mean, and I feel like I'm not mad that Brock won, right? Like it makes sense. Like, but like I said, he could have done the same thing without winning the rumble. I just felt like there was too many filler guys that you just knew didn't have a chance, right? Like,
right.
And I don't know. I really liked AJ Styles and I really liked Austin Theory. And I was so hyped for the AJ Styles Bobby Roode thing that they teased and didn't give us. So there was some pretty good spots in there. I don't know what my favorite part would be. I don't know if I had like a favorite elimination. Maybe Omos fucking mutilating Damian Priest was pretty good. That was pretty nice.
Awesome. Bro, that was great. I don't know why fucking Chad Gable now is doing the piece all the time. He's not Jeff Jarrett. It makes no sense with his gimmick. Why would a wrestler, like a collegiate wrestler, be doing the peace signs? It's so fucking dumb. But anyway, when he's like, I got a plan, and then they sent Damian Priest in first, I thought that was great.
Yeah,
Nico,
that was pretty good.
Nico, what was your favorite part of the men's rumble before I show mine?
My favorite part of the men's Royal Rumble?
Yep. I got one definitive part that I love.
My favorite part of the men's Royal Rumble is when Bad Bunny took the F5 from Brock Lesnar, and I'm not even bullshitting.
Bro, My favorite part of the Royal. I pulled it up. There it is. I said I was gonna throw up my favorite part. That was fucking great, man.
That's wild. That's. Are you kidding me?
No, bro. Brock was sitting there like laughing, and Bad Bunny looks like he's about to cry. Look at him, man. He's got like the bottom lip out a little bit. He's like, oh man, yeah, that was my favorite part. I was like, that is fucking awesome. But as you said earlier, every time I talk shit about Bad Bunny and then he gets in the ring, he actually looks like he knows what he's doing. You could tell he takes it serious. So I will give him that credit.
I didn't mean to talk shit about him. Like I said, that guy's doing awesome. I just mean like there's a lot of guys. Matt Riddle deserved to be in the Final Four over Bad Bunny.
For sure. But I think Bad Bunny, he was just kind of surviving. You know what I mean? It was more like he wasn't really doing anything. You know what I mean? Like he'd have spots, but he wasn't beating anybody up.
They're giving him his credit for putting the work in, at least. So
for sure, man. I don't know. Like,
why does Brock Lesnar look like the Flesh from fucking Action League now, dude? He just like looks like an action figure, bro.
Yo, that's facts, man. That top half, man, the lats and chest, just the way that they connect, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
It's so crazy, bro.
He looks like a He-Man figure for real.
And he's like 40-something years old. Looks like a fucking action figure.
For real. I'm going to tell you guys this, and I know this might not be a popular opinion online or with other fans or maybe even with you guys, but this part of Brock Lesnar's career has been my favorite. And I'll tell you why. I think before they had him too like programmed and robotic. I feel like this time he's actually like letting loose a little bit. He's laughing at people. He's like not just like some fucking guy who's just there to kill everybody. You know what I mean? They actually are giving him his personality on screen, and I love it. I think it's so good.
I think he's not playing a character, dude. I think this is who he really is. I think the laughing at people is like laughing at him as in, what the fuck are you going to do to me? I legitimately used to beat up fucking guys in a cage.
For real.
Like, I stepped in a cage with fucking, I mean, at the time, two of the most ruthless killers in the heavyweight division in Cain Velasquez and Alistair Overeem. I'm going to do literally whatever I want.
Bro, and Shane Carwin, who was just fucking destroying people's lives at the time.
Have either of you guys seen the shoot interview that Paul Heyman did where he's like talking about the night that Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so in this little, I'll make it real quick. In this little interview, Paul Heyman says, he goes, what if Brock Lesnar wasn't supposed to lose to The Undertaker? He's like, what if Brock Lesnar showed up to the arena and said, I'm going to win? Because what are they going to do to me? They're not going to fire the guy who broke the streak.
Right.
Nobody's going to come looking for me in the locker room because I'm Brock fucking Lesnar, and I'll just stomp their shit out.
Undertaker's not going to stop him.
He goes, what if Undertaker got a concussion in that match, remember?
Yeah.
He goes, what if Brock Lesnar dropped The Undertaker on his head and went into business for himself?
Right.
I mean, obviously that didn't happen that way. Like, right. But it's really funny the way that he was like, that's a legitimate thing that could have happened, is that Brock Lesnar could have just come in one day and said, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Because that's what he's doing now.
Yep.
Is whatever the fuck he wants.
Yep. You're right. Hey, look, I was just thinking something that would be funny. Number one, my favorite thing that Brock has done lately was his work with Sami Zayn. I thought that was incredible. I thought it was so freaking good. Like the whole let's go hunting and they're both Canadian thing. I thought that was great.
We said there was some type of scene where we saw Brock Lesnar take out whoever number 30 was.
That's what I said on our episode, is that I would have been like cool to see him just, even if it was just Johnny Knoxville. Show up in the back, and put Knoxville through a table out back or something and just take his spot.
Yep. I totally agree. All right. So anyway, overall, like I said, I'm giving the show a thumbs up. I liked it. I understand about the whole Brock didn't need to win the Rumble, and he really didn't. But I mean, I think that it's just one of those, you know, to the victor goes the spoils, man. I mean, he's the biggest star in the company right now. And I feel like they got to like feed that ego and, you know what I mean? And make him look good. And make him earn all that money he's making because he's the highest paid guy that they have. He's the highest paid athlete on their roster. So I just feel like if they want to hype him up, till the end, then you know what I mean, they can do that. But I understand what you guys are saying too. It didn't really serve a purpose for him as far as he needed it to headline WrestleMania. So.
I feel like it was similar to when he came out and won although this was my favorite Brock Lesnar of all time, when he came out and won the Money in the Bank and he had the Brock Party briefcase and shit. That was my favorite Brock Lesnar, when he was like dancing in the ring with his briefcase and shit.
I remember me and Nico texting each other, like that was before the show had started, but the Brock Party, Nico, when he had the Money in the Bank thing. That was pretty awesome.
That's my favorite Brock Lesnar. He was like doing the Shane McMahon dance shuffle in the ring and shit, and fucking. Yeah. But yeah, like when he won the Money in the Bank, he didn't need to, but like
I took that shit. Do you remember me taking that video of him with the boombox and just switching the music? Will?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did the switch up to the Dawson's Creek entrance. Yo, my God, I was going wild.
That was awesome. Yep. But yeah, Ben, that was a good time in his career too, man. But yeah,
I agree with you. Like the latter part of his career, the later part has definitely been the best. Even though people will complain, there's they're doing the right thing with him.
Oh yeah, yep. And they're slowly making him basically like one of the, like, I guess you'd say, like, prolific stars in the history of the company. I mean, because Hogan dominated for like from 85 to 90. Brock has dominated longer than Hogan has, like several times over in different stints. I mean, and people talk about him being a part-timer, but there was a time when Hogan wasn't wrestling that often. You know what I mean? He was never on TV.
Yeah, exactly. You never had your champions on regular TV back in the day. Like, they were champions for a reason. You had to pay to see them on pay-per-view.
Yep.
Like, but I mean, think about it. Like, Brock has won Money in the Bank, 2-time Royal Rumble winner. He's a King of the Ring. How many times? I think they mentioned it on the pay-per-view last night that he's the only 3-time
is it Universal Champion?
Blue Universal Champion.
Yep.
And he's won the red title twice or once or whatever. Like, and if you count his championships before that, like, yeah, he's gonna go down as one of the. He doesn't move the needle necessarily like an Austin or a Rock, but I mean, in my opinion, accolades wise, he would probably be above even the Rock.
Yeah. Hey, one feud that I always thought that they were gonna put like a lot into, and then I don't even know if they've ever wrestled one-on-one. Ben, you might be able to tell me. Nico, you might be able to tell me. But Brock versus Batista, I always thought that would be like a cool-ass feud. 2 fucking like world beaters colliding.
Yeah, man, I did as well. I kind of got discouraged with like seeing big men perform like that after the Brock match with who was it?
Goldberg?
Brock and Goldberg, yeah. So
yeah. I
kind of was like, I don't know if they can pull matches off like that. But after seeing Brock and Lashley work like that, man, I feel like that is something that they could do, man.
Yeah, I don't know if Batista will ever come back, but if he does, that would be, in my opinion, that'd be the way to go. Anyway, I guess that's enough about the Rumble. I'm kind of excited about the Elimination Chamber. Nico, Ben, and I kind of came up with a theory together off air. They're doing the Raw Elimination Chamber. What's up?
To answer your question, yes, they wrestled once in 2001, but dude, listen to this. They call this, like, how they had the SmackDown 6 back in the day. That was Chavo, Eddie, Chris, Edge, and Ray. Dude, they're calling this like the greatest OVW, like WWE class of all time. It was John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and Batista all came from the same OVW graduating class.
Jesus. Is that where they wrestled in OVW?
Yeah, they wrestled in OVW because they graduated in 2002 technically, and then they had like wrestled in a main event match in OVW in 2001.
I'll have to look for that online and see if I could find the actual footage.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. That article mentioned it was on YouTube. Somebody fucking like fan cammed it, so it's kind of shitty quality.
Got you.
Dude, that's like 4 of the. I mean, Batista be whatever he is, but that's like 4 of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, for sure. Of the 21st century, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, Ben. Let's go ahead and talk about Bellator before we finish this up, man. You want to take the lead on that one?
Yeah. So Ben Henderson found himself in a weird spot. He was fighting in the co-main event against Islam Mamedov, correct?
Yep.
So Henderson had lost 3 of his last 4 fights, I do believe. And he had not done very well in welterweight. But Bellator was in a weird position because they've been pushing Henderson, obviously, as a great lightweight. He's a UFC champion and he's a WEC champion, and he's had great fights and he's a tough guy. But he had lost 3 fights in a row, and they were booking him against a guy who hasn't lost a fight in 20 fights. And it was the last fight on Henderson's contract. I mean, I'm not an expert, but it would seem to me like they were kind of feeding him to the wolves so they can say, well, at least Mamedov got a win over Henderson before he's gone.
Yep.
But now Henderson he was like the most live underdog on the card too. Like what do they do now is the question, because he doesn't have any fights left. He kind of mentioned that he wasn't sure if he was going to keep going or not. But he just beat the guy that they were trying to peg as the next guy. So if I were Ben Henderson personally, I would go to PFL if I was going to keep fighting. I think he has a clearer path to a title in PFL. And if you're not fighting for a title, Ben Henderson and Bellator aren't the big money paydays that you would be fighting for if you weren't fighting for a belt, if that makes sense. Like,
right.
So, like, if you're not fighting to be the champion, what are you fighting for? And Ben Henderson is probably not ever going to be the champion at 155, considering he's lost to most of the guys at the top there.
The top guys. Yeah.
So I'd head to PFL and take my chances against, like, no disrespect to Jeremy Stevenson. Yeah. I would, but I'd take my chances against a guy like that.
Yeah. I think, well, no, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't message you this. But after they said he hadn't re-signed or anything, or they didn't offer him a contract yet, honestly, I would go with Khabib. I would, just because that's just an upstart. And you know that you can either get in the co-main or the main events of pretty much every event that you're on if you're in that company. You know what I mean?
Well, I was thinking PFL there. You know, they've got Clay Collard, they've got Anthony Pettis, they've got Houfion Stotts, the guy who won the tournament this year, Jeremy Stevens.
I'm convinced. I want to see him versus Anthony Pettis. I need that rematch in my life.
That's what I'm saying, right? That would be a big fight. That would obviously be the main event of one of their cards. And I'm not saying he has an easy chance for $1 million, but who doesn't like $1 million against a guy that you've already beaten?
Yeah, I mean, they could do something.
Or you've already fought. He didn't beat Pettis, but
you
know what I mean? He has the most highlighted Showtime kick of all time on your face, bro. Turn him into a highlight reel instead, right?
Yep. Well, yeah. He beat Ben Henderson twice, actually. He beat him in not PFL, WEC, and in the UFC. He got him with an armbar. But you gotta think that he's got a vendetta against him, you know. But yeah, I don't. So it was a close fight. I saw the highlights. I didn't see the fight. The highlights showed that it was like a very, very close fight. What did you think of the decision, guys?
Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, I did think it might have been a little home cooking for Ben Henderson. Judges don't necessarily get swayed by being from your home state or whatever, but I mean, it could have gone either way.
Surprised. No surprise.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing, right? That even he was kind of like, oh,
he cried, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't necessarily like a robbery. Like, I'm not saying challenge the commission and try to get the win back, but I mean, sometimes the split decisions don't go the way they should.
Right. Okay. Nico, what do you think? You thought it was questionable?
I thought it was questionable for sure. Ben did have some really great moments. Guillotine was in there tight a couple times. The roll through was great. Brilliant move. If he gets dumped on his shit and put into side control or half guard, he doesn't hit that roll through where he swims through for the guillotine. Maybe that round goes a little differently. But all in all, man, I thought it was a little shady. I thought that the more significant damage done throughout the fight was on the opposite end. But what are you gonna do, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. So he ended up winning a split decision. Then was the main event. Ryan Bader took on Ben. Help me with the dude's name again.
Valentin Moldavsky.
Moldavsky, exactly. Yep. And again, it was another split decision. That was also a little bit questionable from what I've been hearing. I just saw the highlights of this also. I thought it was pretty good. You know what I did see? What do you think of this decision? Nico, what do you think of it?
Brian Bader went out there and did what he had to do. He won the first and second round for sure. I think he lost the third, potentially the fourth. Came out and went to work in the fifth. I definitely think he did enough for the retain.
What about you, Ben?
It's kind of like Nico said. I thought that it was definitely swaying in the opposite direction. Heading into the third and fourth, Moldavsky. I think this was more that Moldavsky lost the fight than Bader won the fight. It was he just didn't. Like I said, the decision could be questionable, basically because Bader's like the hometown boy. But I spilled my soda, so I had to clean it up real quick.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble.
Moldavsky just didn't do enough, I guess, in that last round to seal the win.
Right. So now
I don't know.
See.
I'm a big Czech Congo fan, but I don't know how excited I am to see a 46-year-old guy fight for the heavyweight title.
Bro, I think he's gonna knock Bader out, man. Bader's like shown that he can't really take those big shots anymore. I don't know, man. I think that could be interesting. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that fight, but you know, it's Bellator. It's something to watch. It could be fun. But Ben, I saw something before we went on the air, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about this. Have you guys seen the fights that they've put together for Fight Night March 19th? There's some cool fights on that card. Number one, Gunnar Nelson, who I thought was retired, is fighting on that card versus Claudio Silva, which I think that's a pretty cool fight. Arnold Allen is fighting Dan Hooker. That's a fucking banger. That's going to be a good-ass fight. And Paul Craig is fighting Nikita Krylov. Now, look, none of those are main events for the event. Whatever. But those are three, like, I think pretty damn good fights. Pretty cool fights for true MMA fans. Now, look, you're not going to get your girlfriend to sit down and get excited for Nikita Krylov to fight. But if you know fighting, you know that dude. You know you're going to be excited about those three fights. I thought that was pretty cool when I was reading about that. And Gunnar Nelson, I mean, when was the last time that dude fought? It's been a while, huh?
Facts, man. Yo, I remember. Wasn't he supposed to be like Connor's protege, man?
Yeah, and like, you know, at one point, I honestly thought he would end up being the champion. He hasn't fought.
Next up.
Yeah, he fought Leon Edwards and Gilbert Melendez both in 2019. Lost both fights, and he hasn't fought since. So he's going to come off of like a 2.5-year layoff. That's pretty wild, man. You know, we'll see how he does. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see him back.
Speaking of Czech Congo before, I should point out that the man, like I said, is 46 years old, and he's still the 25th best heavyweight in the world across any MMA company. At 46 years old, that's absolutely insane.
It's pretty crazy. Hey, Ben, I wanted to ask you about this dude because he does not look familiar to me. They booked another fight night in April, and everybody's favorite middleweight, Chris Curtis, is fighting Dricus Du Plessis.
Dude, he is awesome. He is. I love that guy. He is lightning in a bottle. He's got some heavy hands for 185 pounds.
Yeah, so you think him?
He's a KSW. He was a middleweight champion in KSW, and he's from South Africa. And the dude is just. He's. I like the guy a lot. He's 2 fights in the octagon, and both were knockouts.
Nice.
And they were like crisp, clean. The guy's out knockouts. If you get a chance, check it out.
Okay, I may have seen him. I
want to say the last guy he knocked out was Trevin Giles, and that's what made Trevin Giles drop to 170. Was Dricus knocked his head off. It's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. This fight, the next, this is I don't know if they're both in the top 15, but one of them will be at the end of this fight.
Yeah, I gotcha. Another fight that I'm not excited about. I'm kind of upset about this fight, and I mean, it might just be me being selfish, but they booked Jessica Andrade to fight Amanda Lemos in April, and it's like, man, you don't need to book these girls that you want to get to the title fight to fight Jessica Andrade, because she's going to beat them and then they're never going to get to that title fight. She's not going to get another title fight for a while after she got her ass whooped by Valentina, but now you got these like girls that are getting close to a title fight and you put them right up against this roadblock. You know what I mean? I'm not excited about that fight at all. And then Ben,
if you beat Jessica, you're not going to beat Valentina.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. But you're like cannibalizing your own contenders. You know what I mean?
Very true.
You gotta have somebody to fight her. Ben, the other fight, Nico, did you hear about the fight that Ben was talking about with Cowboy Cerrone?
I did.
Him and Joe Lozon?
Yep.
Hell of a fight.
That's gonna be a hell of a fight.
You think they'll let that be a main event on a card just for the hell of it?
Fox or some shit like that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If he wins that fight and they bring him back, I think he should fight Bobby Green. Cowboy versus Bobby Green. No? I think that would be it.
Bobby Green's trajectory is different. Bobby's still going up.
I just think it'd be a fun fight, man. I think it would be.
I honestly think they both retire after this fight.
Yeah, maybe.
They're the two highest bonus winning guys of all time. Mm-hmm. They're both straight gamers and ballers and badasses and everything. I mean, they're both thugs, dude. And it would be awesome to this would be the fight to retire on.
Yeah. Okay.
Win or lose. I mean, this is not going to be a shitty fight. There's no chance.
No. There's not going to be a shitty fight. No, I totally agree. Any other fights booked that you're excited about, Ben? That are booked recently? You know, we got Charles Oliveira, obviously, versus Justin Gaethje. I mean, that wasn't any kind of surprise. But there's a couple surprising fights out there that got booked, I think.
Trying to think if there's anything that I've heard of that hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some women's fights that are interesting. You got Kay Hansen fighting Piera Rodriguez. Piera's making her debut, but she's 7-0. And, you know, Kay Hansen's pretty good. She's better than the 1-2 record in the octagon that she has. Another fight they booked was that Vicente Luque versus Bilal Muhammad fight.
I like that.
It's a good
fight. Uriah Hall and Andre Muniz, too.
Yeah. Ben said that's pretty much the way that they get Uriah Hall out of the top 10. He's fighting he's fighting Andre. And Andre's famous for what, Ben?
Is breaking Jacare Souza's arm.
Broke his fucking arm, man. That was nasty. And then let's see. There were a couple other fights I was going to mention. What's up, Ben? Did
you see Sean Strickland's Instagram video of his apartment?
No.
I I saw a little bit of it and was breaking up, and I forgot to go
Holy
back.
shit, Nico. So he's like,
He's doing like
yo,
cribs, right?
yo, everybody wants to see my apartment. Like, see my apartment. He's like, this is where I eat dinner. And it's like a TV tray just like stuck against the wall with a bunch of shit on it.
Yeah, he's like,
And
you
he's
gotta
like,
tell me I should get furniture.
He's like, this is my punching bag. This is a used couch that I bought. And then he like walks into his kitchen. He's like, this is a drill press in case you need to drill some shit. And he's just like, it's exactly what you'd expect Sean Strickland's apartment to look like.
That boy a lunatic.
He walks into his bedroom and he's like, I don't need a fucking bed frame. Bed frames are for pussies. He's like, I just sleep right on the box spring on the floor.
That boy is a lunatic.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's a lunatic right there, man. He ain't playing. He crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
Who's gonna win, him or Hermanson?
Hermanson.
Hermanson wrestling.
Yeah, I think Hermanson can do it.
With the wrestling though, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Strickland got the better hands.
He does, but Hermanson's like very sneaky, man. He's really good at everything. I'm not gonna say he's the best at anything, but he's like deceivingly good in my opinion. But you know, I think that it's a good fight. What about you, Ben? You kind of made a look, man. What, you got Sean Strickland winning that fight?
I was surprised you guys didn't.
Nah, I like Hermanson a lot, man. I think he's top notch, man.
I don't know who to pick, right? Because Strickland has got such good hands, and he's kind of a bully. But Hermanson, huh?
Wrestling is the edge.
I was gonna say, but Hermanson's kind of a bully when it comes to wrestling. So
yeah, they stand and I'm with Strickland for sure. If Strickland can get back to his feet repeatedly, I'm with Strickland. But I think the wrestling is the edge here.
Ever since Hermanson tapped out Kelvin Gastelum, it's like hard to pick against him. I mean,
yeah,
he looked really good. I mean, I know he's lost a couple of his last fights against like Marvin Vettori but I mean Marvin's.
Yeah, Marvin Vettori and Jared Cannonier. Yep.
And they're two of the best fighters in the division, other than Izzy and Bobby Knuckles. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you see Derek Brunson? Speaking of Jared Cannonier, he said that they moved his and Cannonier's fight to the same card as Izzy and Whitaker in case one of them falls out. That they're there as a backup.
Smart move. Very smart.
He was clowning on, I think it was Bobby Knuckles, though. He's like, oh yeah, in case Whitaker gets injured, I can step in for him, Brunson said. But I mean, he wouldn't even be guaranteed to take the spot. It's just that's why him and Cannonier got moved, was in case somebody got hurt. They can break that fight up and fix the main event.
Yep. I think Cannonier matches up better with Izzy than Derek Brunson does, but that's just my personal opinion. I know Derek
Brunson's going to be the champion, bro.
I don't know about that.
Or wait a minute, did I say he was going to fight for the belt? Either way, I said something about Derek Brunson a couple weeks back. He's my man.
Yeah, I mean he's good. He is good. I met him. He was a pretty cool guy, but I just
like Derek Brunson because everyone's like he's going to lose, and he just keeps fucking winning.
Yeah,
keeps winning.
One funny thing I'll tell you guys about Jack Hermanson is that when I play UFC 4. On Xbox Live, I pick him because he's 4 stars, and everybody wants to pick Izzy that's 5, or they want to pick Anderson Silva like in his prime that's 5, and I just wrestle fuck them the whole time, denying transitions and just sit there, posture up, land a few shots, and they get so fucking mad. And if I really get pissed off, I go into I just go into side control, Ben, and I get him in like the what do you call, almost like the what's it called, like the seat belt or whatever? No, not the seat belt, the
crucifix,
or the crucifix, and I just start elbowing them. And the best thing though is that then they roll over on their stomach, they stand up and try to get away from me. I jump on their back and take their neck and end up submitting them. It happens almost like probably 5 out of 6 times when I pick Jack Hermanson. He is. I mean, they gave him his due in that game. The only problem I don't like is that they don't let him knee or elbow on the feet. They didn't give him that option.
The UFC game right before this one, when I would play online, I always chose Jose Aldo, and leg kicked everyone into oblivion. Because people don't ever block leg kicks.
They don't.
And I would just fucking leg kick smash everybody to hell online, and they'd be swearing at me, "Fight for real, pussy!" So I'd take them down and submit them.
Yeah,
for real.
Yo, that used to be my shit.
Yeah.
I haven't played it mad long, man.
Ben, who is it that I use leg kicks with? Light heavyweight. Oh, no. Heavyweight sometimes. I'm going to tell you, and people get so fucking mad. And then they try to wrestle me. No, I use Curtis Blades and I use leg kicks. Then they try to wrestle me, and that's the dumbest thing in the world is to try to wrestle Curtis Blades. Then I really start fucking them up. I kind of do it just to set that trap, you know. And speaking of him, he came out today and said he wanted to fight Ciryl Gane. Yeah, Curtis Blades did.
I mean, that probably makes sense, right?
It does. And you know, I commented on his thing and I said, he said, what are your thoughts on this? Like, and you know, people were commenting, "Oh, you'll kill Ciryl Gane and this and that." And I just was honest. I said, look, you saw what the game plan has to be. You know what you would have to do to win the fight. I was like, but you got to be real careful when you try to wrestle this dude for those slick submissions because he can pull them out of nowhere. I mean, and I do believe that. I mean, I believe he could take Ciryl Gane down, but he better not get caught on the way in, and he better not just get like complacent while he's on top, or he will get submitted. You know, I think Ciryl Gane's jiu-jitsu is, I mean, I think he showed last fight, but in a lot of these fights, I think it's better than people give him credit for or expect it to be, you know? But I don't know. You think that would be a good fight, Ben?
That'd be an awesome fight.
Yeah.
I think it would tell you everything you need to know about both of those guys.
Yeah, at this juncture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. All right, Nico, anything else you want to talk about before we kick it to the curb?
You know, I'm disappointed that you didn't pull up the videos that I sent you of the crazy Russian face-offs, man, because this is the way that shit needs to go. I was hitting up Julius the other day. Shouts out to Julius.
What Russian face-offs?
He got a contract signed right now. Get ready to make that move. He gave me the inside scoop. I can't release it yet because he ain't released it yet. It's
what Russian face-offs, though?
Big fucking fight. Instagram. Instagram.
Oh. Yeah, you. Somebody. I saw somebody.
You said no, I didn't.
No. I said I can't even get on my personal account anymore.
Right.
It got locked up. It was such bullshit. It said somebody in Graham, North Carolina has access to your account. It was me, and it wrote yes, I did. And then it started asking me all these security questions that I didn't know. It said your account has been locked, and it just took me off. I had it on my other phone. Like I have two phones, and so now I can't get back in, and I just haven't gone through the whole security protocol to get it back yet. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you did send it to me. I haven't seen it. But Nico, we do have a guest Wednesday.
Yep.
That should be pretty cool. Man, that dude, he's pretty good, man. I think that, you know, I would say another couple wins and Justin Meade could get on the Contender Series. Honestly, I mean, he's good, man. And when you get 16-second wins, he got a 16-second win in his last fight. That, you know, that makes headlines. That gets people noticing you. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of 16-second wins that people have seen in MMA. So anyway, and that dude that he fought was pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna have Lionheart Justin Meade on Wednesday night, 10 o'clock on the dot. Nico, 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And it'll be cool. We'll have him on, talk a little bit about about fighting and stuff like that. Just, you know, like I told you guys in the chat, a guy like him who had a ho-hum amateur career came into his pro career and lost his first fight by knockout and then wins 3 fights in a row, including 2 submissions. You know, that's everybody matures as a fighter at a different time. You know what I mean? And for him, I guess it was around 30 years old. You know, I guess he decided he didn't like losing anymore. And that's it. You know, that's great, man. Not that he was losing all of his fights. I think he was like 4-4 as an amateur, but you know, he's has a better record as a pro than an amateur. That's pretty impressive. It's usually the other way around for most fighters. That's all. So, Ben, I don't know if you know this, but Nico did a kickboxing match not that long ago. I mean, it was a couple years ago,
on
actually.
the anniversary of my cousin's death,
Yeah.
actually. Yep.
And Ben, you want to talk about some home cooking? Yeah, that was in play. Nico, you have to send him the video.
100%. Motherfuckers didn't hit me up, even though they had known that my fighter pulled out a week in advance. I still went to the fight thinking that I was fighting that guy. Then they told me at the event that he pulled out and that I was fighting up 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they got crazy on the kid that night.
And then they gave the other dude the decision, even though Nico was the aggressor. I mean, it was.
Oh, I went hog shit in the first round. I definitely won the first round. Second round, he definitely won. Third round, debatable.
Yeah,
I thought you won. Yo, a lot of people said I won the third round.
Right.
But I gotta call it like I see it. If it's debatable, then they can go any way they want to go. But I definitely was the aggressor. I didn't take a damn step backwards in that third round.
Nope. So yeah, we'll have to send Ben that video. It was pretty wild.
Hell yeah, dude! I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's dope as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they fucked you, but that you did it, dude. That's dope as hell.
Now we circling the block this year. I'm about to get crazy, bro.
Are you
crazy?
You gonna take another fight?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if it's gonna be boxing or it's gonna be a kickboxing match, if it's gonna be in the cage. But we definitely doing a fight this year. I'm about to get on that road work and then
pillow fighting, maybe.
I'll chop it up with Julius and see what he thinks that I should probably consider doing, and that'll be the route that I go.
Yeah, pillow fighting, maybe.
Yo, I seen the pillow fight, man.
It was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, them boys getting crazy over there.
Did you see that, Ben, in the video I sent for the pillow fighting? That shit was crazy. Oh man, Ben, he said he'll fight whatever, man. We're gonna see Nico in that thing where they're like in the phone booth and they have one hand like stuck together, and
they get crazy in there too, bro. Now that's my type of shit.
That is aggressive.
That's my type of shit. Phone booth fighting is where it's at.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
If niggas is getting paid like top dollar for that, that would be the way I went. I feel like you got the best shot in there. You know, like protection with your forearm and elbow and just sneaking them uppercuts and overhands. That's my type of shit.
Pretty crazy stuff. Yep. Ben, anything else you wanted to add before we take it to the house, bro? No?
Nothing I can think of.
Yo, Ben, seriously though, these Russian face-offs is getting crazy. Whatever this company is, I'm gonna send it in the group chat too. They have been having full-blown fights at the face-off. And I've been telling Julius, if it gets to that point, they should let the fight play out. No unified rules. You pay both the men their money, and then you air it the night of the fight for anybody who didn't see it. But you just let that be the fight from now on. Fuck it. Let that be the fight.
I can see that.
I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference if they're doing it backstage or in the cage?
Come on, right? The winner's a winner. Pay the men out.
Hell yeah, balls count anywhere. Fuck it. Yep. All right, Nico, you ready to take it to the building?
There is no need to adjust your screen. It's not Bruce Buffer, but you've been here live at TFG, episode 94. It's your boy, Nick Diddy, Nico Damas, NG, the cousin, Willie G, and the one and only Ben, the Stash, Doucette. Shouts for my boy BC as well. I can't believe he peeled out on us in that fashion. Tonight was probably the best audio that has ever came out of his system. But with that being said, we out this bitch. Peace.
Peace out.